Now I'm going to share with you information. You can take this information and you can transcribe it and you can what? Share it, use it. And if you can use it and if you can influence one person and it worked for her, do you think it could work for him? And if it worked for him, do you think it can work for her? Now, the only difference between a brand new person and someone like us that's already been here is what? Time. She gets an A. I want to give her a patch. Time. Our system here that we've created through information is to let you absorb information very slowly. For example, if you go into the gym and you haven't been to the gym like I haven't for 25 years, am I going to pick up a 5-pound dumbbell or a 50-pound dumbbell? 5 pound. Why? Because if I pick up the 50-pound dumbbell, I will get hurt. And if I get hurt, and then I will what? Quit. Has anybody ever joined network marketing before and got excited and then joined it for a week or a month or 2 or 3, and then they got hurt and then they got quit? Oh, really? Okay. So I'm resonating with everyone, right? So I want you to go through this information with me. If any of this information excites you, you can share. If it hits that aha moment, I want you to take that feeling and I want you to ingrain it in yourself because that's your why. Because if it tickles you, it's what? The truth. Do you know what light is? Light is information. That's why when we give you light, we're giving you information. If we keep you in the dark, that's called misinformation. How cool is that to understand? So all you're doing is sharing light, which is sharing information. When we started 15 years ago in the industry, I wish I had this information. I wish we had a company like this back then, but guess what? Lifewave was still in its infancy stage, right? So if you can go to this and compare to anything that you've done before, any network marketing that you've been in before, or any job or business or corporation that you've been before, you can compare and use this for yourself, okay? And see if it makes sense. So the one thing that makes us so different, okay? The number one thing that when we saw this is the company is back then was 15 years old. It was ran by one owner, which is the scientist, the creator of the technology, and it was debt-free. How cool is that? That's cool. And not only was it debt-free, David Schmidt has built, this one, number 2, he has built what we call a vertical integration. Vertical integration means that he actually owns the ingredients that goes into this patch. And not only does he own and makes his own ingredients that goes into this patch, he owns 2 manufacturing, one in San Diego and one in Ireland that already doubled the size into hundreds of thousands of square feet. We make our own patches. How cool is that? Does that fit? Do you know that you have a foundation? That means you know we're not a Me Too product. David does not buy these crystals or these patches from another company and rebrands them and calls it Lifewave. Does that make sense? We make our own product. We buy our own products. And that's why during COVID, we had no issues in supplies and no issues in shipping because we own everything. How cool is that? And guess now where? All around the world. So while every company was shutting down, what were we doing in the last 2 years? We were raising up and growing. That's why I believe we as a network marketing company, we have literally now a 2 to 4 year head start of any company because we did not really shut down. Does that make sense? And because we were patching wearable technology. How much does it cost to ship this in an envelope? Nothing. Does that make sense, everyone? Okay, that is what we have created. We have patents. Do you know, anybody here has heard of supplements that have 1 patent, maybe 2 in the whole company? Has anybody been involved in a company that has over 100 patents? Do you know how much it costs to go and patents to get a patent? A lot. And what if those out of those 100 patents, 70% of those 100 patents are all on regenerative science, meaning that David Schmidt doesn't tell you he wants you younger. He's patenting it. He's telling you he's patenting it through patents, and it's all about regeneration and repair for yourself. So how do you know that you're going to look younger, feel younger, perform younger forever? Because the company that you're involved with is telling you and protecting you. How cool is that? That's huge. We are the only company that has patents in light technology. We are the only company in the world that can say we can activate your stem cells with a wearable patch. And we have a 20-year patent on that one patch itself. So there will be no competition. Who here loves competition? Oh, maybe one or two. I mean, I like competition in shoes, you know, but in technology, I like to be the only one, right?
David has to prove the science to get a patent. And so in the patent, if you go to startx39.com under research and patents, you can actually click on the X39 patent. It's a one-page patent. And in there, it talks about the technology that is patented, which has to be proved. And so that technology actually says X39 activates GHK copper peptide in the blood, which stimulates stem cells. Like, I wanted to read that patent because I'm like, whoa, that's cool. And so to get a patent, the technology has to work, right? They won't give you a patent that's for something that's not going to work. And then, you know, it does cost money, I'm sure, to file for a patent, you know, like that whole process.
So just know, I mean, even ask anyone, any of your friends, if they sell you supplements, skincare, do you have patents on that? How do you know it works? Do you understand? If you do, you can ask that question, because a patent will prove it. It will prove to you.
Proves that it works.
Proof is everything. In today's time, people want evidence. And once you provide the evidence, it's either yes or no. There is no convincing. Does that make sense? We're not here to convince anyone. We just want to, again, share what? Information, okay? Now, this is going to get really good. The next thing is our compensation plan. It is so fair. David Schmidt pays out 60 cents out of every dollar. So for every $1 million that is sold, $600,000 goes into commissions. For example, this is a direct sales of 2 legs. So we're in Alaska today. So if Alaska in itself, the state of Alaska sells $1 million a month of patches, $600,000 goes back to each community. So Kathleen, can you tell me, how, outside of Alaska, where else do you have business in? What other states? Well, Canada, Ireland, Israel. What else? Who else? Where else? State, Montana, California, Florida. Now, you guys ready for this? Mexico. So Mariah was one of the first ones to sign up with Marci. Every person that Kathleen, is Kathleen under Mariah?
She is.
So every person that Mariah did not know, but Kathleen knew, and all these countries all of a sudden came in under Kathleen. Is that under Mariah? So that means the whole state of Alaska is supported throughout the world, because whenever someone buys a patch in Canada, Ireland, Turkey, Mexico, Philippines, Taiwan, Japan, and it funnels through all our business accounts, we all benefited from that. And everyone in Alaska gets paid for everybody else's efforts around the world. Do you think we can all build a huge business like that? Do you understand now the power of network marketing, Technology evolves. Companies evolve. Do you want to be with a company that has the latest and greatest technology that everybody needs? Or do you want to be part of a company that everybody already knows of and they can get the same product at Rite Aid, Target, or Walgreens or Walmart? Do you understand where we're at? You want to distinguish yourself, and Lifewave is the perfect company to position yourself if you're interested in being in the light photobiomodulation technology
And stem
and
cell
stem cells
activation.
and a healthy community that is helping people every day
Yep.
to look younger and feel younger. We have one of the top experienced management teams for our companies, even on our system ourselves. Anybody here been to our working bee system already? If you have, congratulations. If you've been on our Start X39 Biz site, if you see what has been created in the last 2.5 years, if you've been to our startx39.com, you see all that. That is called tools. We have created the best tools, I believe, in the industry. And that's not to brag, but how do we know it works? Because people are joining us every day. How do you know that you have $1 billion company in the making?
Hmm,
How do you know?
That's a good question.
Number one, the product sells itself. Number two, no competition. Number three, but how does that make it $1 billion brand? Yeah. No. Are you ready? Who do you know that has cells? Okay. If you know everyone has cells and you know you're the only company in the world that has a product that directly is a solution for your cells, and we have 7.7 billion people in the world, do you think we're going to be a multi-billion dollar brand?
Yeah.
And if you have a solution to help people get off pharmaceutical drugs, do you think where is your market at? If you have a solution that does not taste, smell, and you don't have to process anything to get an experience, do you think that people love that? Do you understand where I'm going with this? That is how you know if you're very wise and you can take this information. And now I'm going to ask a serious question. How much of that do you want? Show me how you want to help people. And I'll tell you right now, you know where it starts? With you. Turn yourself on first. And once you've been turned on one person. Once you turn on one person, turn on another person. And once you get used to that, keep on turning on people. This business, whatever I just explained to you, was that hard? Was that hard to understand? Zoomy world, was that hard to understand? If it wasn't hard for you to understand what I just did in 20 minutes, would you like to work 20 years in physical labor? Or would you like to take something you learned in 20 minutes and be able to share that with others? And if that person buys, you brought that person value. If you give that person value and that person gives another person value, you will build a community of value. And again, what did I say? To go through our recession, that's going to happen. You need to stay together. You need to build a community that is like-minded and want the same thing, and make sure your time is being monetized. Okay, your time is being leveraged, and make sure a company pays you for your time. Lifewave has been here for 18 years. And I think David Schmidt is barely getting started. But these 12 bullet points or these 10 bullet points I gave you is the core foundation of what you need to look for if you're going to build and give your time to a company to help people. Does that make sense? So I hope you understood this. I don't want to take any much more time. Thank you for this. And I hope you take this and today absorb it, okay? Because it's information. And the only way to help others and do business, you got to help other people's life get better. Use the patch, okay? Use our technology, use our information. And guess what? All of it is almost free. So thank you so much for letting me share your business part. I'm gonna pass it back on to Marci.